Hello, and welcome to the Thyroid Warrior podcast. I'm Ebony, and I'm here as your wellness facilitator. I'm going to be sharing my experiences in managing Hashimoto's disease, and I really hope that it'll help you on your personal journey. Keep in mind, however, this does not substitute as medical advice. It is only for your information and motivational purposes only. Now, let's get started. Hello, friends. I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being a part of this community and being a friend. Because I want you to know a lot of people don't realize how much work it is to produce a podcast, content, to show up or do anything that requires a lot of energy, especially when you have a thyroid condition or an autoimmune disease. And I just want to say thank you for sticking with me and just celebrating all of these things surrounding Thyroid Awareness Month. I want you to go to joyfulebony.com/thyroid awareness month. And I am hosting a lot of events this month for the first time ever because I really and truly want to raise more awareness around thyroid health. So one thing that I'm really pushing for is the virtual 5K walk/run. And you can find that at joyfulebony.com/thyroid awareness month. It is going to be hosted on January 15th. Proceeds from that event is going to, as well as all of the events, are going to autoimmune.org. It is an organization that is close to my heart because when I was initially diagnosed and was trying to find out a lot about Hashimoto's disease, that was actually the one website that I went to and highly depended on to get real information and to help me kind of expand to other websites and resources. So I'm really encouraging you to sign up and join me during that virtual 5K for sure. But I'm also doing a lot of events. I am hosting that or collaborating with Afro Wellness Magazine as well as Thai Tabano. I want to make sure I'm getting that name correct to provide giveaway baskets to 3 lucky winners. So I am very excited about that. And just so you know, Thai Tabano is a nonprofit that is basically working to improve the lives of individuals that have had thyroid cancer, and Afro Wellness Magazine is celebrating folks from the African diaspora. And I'm just very excited to start collaborating with more individuals, and you will start hearing more guests on the podcast. But as always, I'm definitely being very particular on who those folks are because I always want to make sure I'm getting you the most accurate and up-to-date information whenever possible. And I want to make sure that you all feel safe at all times. So with that being said, those are the announcements today, and I'm just so excited. So check out joyfulebony.com/thyroid awareness month for events. You can sign up and register there. And today I want to talk about awareness, naturally, because January is Thyroid Awareness Month, but also I want you to become more aware of your surroundings, more aware of your thoughts, and really more aware of your actions. And the reason why this is so important is this is January. So this is the time where people are setting those goals. They're setting New Year's resolutions. They're doing all the things. And I don't want you to be a part of that statistic whereby Valentine's Day, everyone has basically kicked their New Year's resolutions or goals to the curb. I want you to think about that and set goals and have those dreams and desires to be able to be the healthiest version of you, or to implement or take action on whatever goal it is that you're setting for yourself. but I want you to be aware of all of the things that are around you that can have an impact on you being successful. Now, I've had people tell me, Ebony, that's negative. I don't want to think about all the ways that I could possibly fail. And my response to that is, but that's life. It isn't always going to be warm and fuzzy, but I want you to be aware of what can potentially stop you from reaching your goals and dreams so that when you encounter it, you could say, oh, okay, I understand. I knew that was coming, or I could anticipate it. We can't predict the future. We don't always know what's going on. But for example, if you're someone that is trying to lose weight, and this one is always challenging for a lot of folks because one, they don't set specific enough goals around it. And I tell my clients that I work with all the time that I need you to be as specific as possible, down to what outfits are you going to wear when you get up in the morning to exercise? What are you going to eat? We're going to help you plan out your meals, and I want to look at your behaviors and patterns during the day. And some people will think and tell me, Ebony, that's too much. Like, I don't need you all in my business like that. Again, that's fine. But when I'm working with someone, I tell you, even in the questionnaire, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I'm going to, for some, be a little intrusive, and it's not because I'm trying to get all in your business and make you feel like a terrible person. I genuinely want to know and understand what's going on so that I can see your blind spots. That's why I talked about having an accountability partner, because sometimes we're just in it and we can't see outside of ourselves. And that's why I also talked to you about having an accountability partner that's not going to shut you down and make you feel less than. So when you begin the process of learning and understanding all of the things that you want, let's go back to the weight loss goal. Hello, brain fog. I'm literally staring at my outline and I got distracted. But I wanted to make sure that you all always know that I have your best interest at heart, promise. But when you're thinking about weight loss, for example, I always tell my clients, if you want to lose, let's say 30 pounds, that's, to some, that's considered specific, but it's not, because 30 pounds is a lot. Why not look at it as, you know what, over a 3-month period, I'm going to look to lose 5 to 10 pounds a month. Now, I always look at things, and I had a mentor that would always challenge us to think about good, better, and best. So my best would be to lose 10 pounds a month. My better would be 5, and my good would be 2 to 3. And that way, I'm always meeting my goal. And I know that in order to make that happen in terms of losing that 10 pounds, I have to plan my meals. I have to consistently move my body. I have to practice good sleep hygiene, and I have to minimize stress. Here's where awareness comes in. Meal prepping. Many of us have families. Many of us don't feel good. Many of us don't have the time to do it. So how are you going to work on saying, all right, how do I take advantage of the days when I feel good? How do I work on or order meal planning services or get meals that are already prepped, paying attention to the sodium and fat and sugar content in those things, of course. Okay, can I get my family to help me? No? All right. Can I utilize my Instant Pot? Do I have a crock pot? Can I afford those things? If the answer is no, that is okay. Stroll to your canned foods aisles, look at no salt added beans. Go to your frozen food section. Frozen vegetables are often, depending on where grocery store you're at, you can get them on sale for 77 to 88 cents a bag. And many times you may see like the 10 for 10 deal. If you have an EBT card, or if you're on WIC and you have a family, they are going to, depending on the social worker that you have, they will be able to give you different resources to help you meet that need, and to also be able to find affordable foods that you can have with those benefits. So again, write down the things that you need to be successful from a food perspective. Write down some of the things that you know you like to eat, your family likes to eat. If you are struggling with food issues, you can always go and write down your needs first, then plan them with your family. From a sleep perspective, if you know you like to scroll the gram or TikTok late at night, you got to make some changes around that. Many phones now are coming up with timers. Can you set a physical alarm clock to get you out of bed in the morning? Can you set out your exercise clothes right next to your bed? Can you sleep in your exercise clothes? There are so many things that I have had to learn how to do in order to bring awareness to my bad habits even. No one likes to talk about those. Because, hello insomnia, I tend to stay up scrolling on my phone too much at night. And it also has a lot to do with many times I'm often by myself. So I fall into the habit of, because I don't have a lot of people around me, I just stick to a device. I don't actively go seek out relationships. I know that's something that I have to work on. And community is so important in terms of our health outcome. So again, I recognize what is going to prevent me from reaching and achieving my goals. Write those things down. Be aware of those things. What daily practices can you implement to help you begin the process of living a happy, healthy, and joy-filled life? Brain dump it. Just write it all down. And really and truly think through, how am I going to make this work? And be honest with yourself. We're friends. We're past that point where I'm going to kind of skirt around saying, well, maybe you should think about those bad No, not skirting around it anymore. I'm going to be loving and kind with you, but are you overeating? Are you undereating? Are you spending too much time on your devices? Are you not paying attention to the people around you that love you? Are you not allowing people to help you when you know you need it? Are you self-isolating? Are you getting too hard on yourself because you thought you should have been at insert place? Throw all of that in the trash and really sit down and look at those things that you have had embedded in you and ingrained in your mind. And many times it's not us. It's things from our childhood. It's things that we've heard growing up. And when you establish and learn and become more familiar with those things and you're more aware of it, wow, things really and truly start to change. And I know how much of a change has occurred in my life because I can look at how much I've grown over the last year. Have I cried? Absolutely. A lot. A whole lot, as a matter of fact. But I've accepted that I didn't allow myself to cry when I was a child because for me it wasn't safe to. And I worked through a lot of that in therapy. And If I need to cry, if I need to release, I allow myself to do that. Right now, it's incredibly stressful at my job, and unfortunately, I'm starting to clench my jaw again, and my TMJ pain is off the chain. I'm aware of the patterns and the habits that I used to fall to in order to cope with the stress, but I'm nipping it in the bud earlier, and I'm taking my butt to the dentist, and I'm like, y'all need to do something with this. I paid too much money to get all this Invisalign and my teeth worked on and cavities and crap. I'm not doing this time. I'm speaking up early and often about my needs and my needs getting met because I always put them to the side. So I'm challenging you today. What are you going to do in terms of sitting down and brain dumping the things that you know you need to become more aware of around how are you going to achieve your goals? So what are the barriers that are there? What are the things that will help you? Who are the people that will hinder you? Who are the people that will help you? Write that down and really stick to it, because we're setting boundaries in 2022. I know that's a curse word for some of us. Boundaries. We're not overworking. We're not stressing ourselves out, and we're going to have as good of a year, as good of a month, as good of a day, as good as an hour, as good as of a minute that we can possibly have. So think about that. Become an observer in your environment and start processing, how am I going to be more aware of the things going on with me? No, you are not paranoid. No, you are not creating paranoia for yourself. But if that is something that you struggle with, obviously, you're going to want to work on these types of things with the professional, because I don't want to send you off on the deep end. I don't know everything that there is to know about things that may negatively trigger you. So I'm saying that with love, because I want to make sure that we're all staying safe and that I'm not telling you to do something that is going to purposely put you in harm. So if there are things about what we talked about today that will introduce habits, patterns, or behaviors from your past that were bad for you, don't do it. Know that I love you, know that I'm here to support you, but I also want to acknowledge that there are areas that I may not be familiar with for you. Talk to a health professional, talk to a doctor, talk to a counselor. But we're going to do this thing together. And with that, okay, thyroid warriors, get out there and take things one step at a time. Remember, reflect on your triumphs, know that you are doing your best, and do what you need to do in order to be well. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to this podcast and share this episode with a friend. And don't forget, leave me a review. I read those and try very hard to improve the show based upon your feedback. So I'd love to hear from you. And with that, be happy, be whole, and be well. Take care.